Welcome back to History in Motion, proudly brought to you by Midas. Chevron was founded in 1965 by Derek Bennett, and in 1971 they introduced the Chevron B19. In its inaugural year of production and competition, it won the European Sports Car Championship. It was also raced in the 1971 Springbok Series and won 3 of the 6 events. Jody Scheckter, Paddy Driver and Dave Charlton each taking a victory with their respective team. Gauges are ready, engines are prepped, drivers are focused. Everyone's ready to go racing in the Liqui Moly endurance cars, and the 1-hour race is about to begin. First, we caught up with Alex Gillespie to hear about his new car.
Well, this car has been built by AJ Koenig over the last 16-18 months. We've done the motor ourselves, so it was quite an exciting project, and today being the first day we're running it, we hope it's going to go all right. The car's very soft compared to what I'm used to, so it leans a lot, but it really sits on the tires nicely. So for the long corners, you can get it loaded up and then plant your foot and it goes. I think there's a bit of time left because I'm not really running the curbs. It's not a car that's meant to. I'm very used to 15-minute sprints, so I'm going to have to just mentally play a game with myself to not let myself get caught up in it's a sprint race. I'm going to just dial back, go a bit slower, and just try purposefully aim to get to the end.
Within the Lotuses, we got a whole gaggle of cars. We have some Class L's, some Class C's, myself in a B, a number of others. Also some very, very fast Class X cars. So I expect it to be very competitive. Also the weather, it is stonking hot here. It's hot enough in a sprint race in an hour. It's going to be very important to be drinking as the driver. The car itself, we're going to have to try to manage its temperatures very, very carefully. It's going to get very toasty. With the headwind as sizable as it is, and our cars aren't very aerodynamic on a good day, it means that drafting is very, very effective. If you go onto the back straight with somebody even 10, 15 meters behind you, you can be pretty sure they're going to be in front of you before they get off the back straight. So drafting matters an awful lot. It's also a bit challenging as a driver because sat outside, we don't have windscreens in our car, and your head is buffeting left and right, your eyeballs are jiggling. You just wonder whether something's not about to fall off and it might be your head.
This is a MGB, a 1967 MGB GT. This car's actually been raced for about 30 years now, so it's actually done quite a lot. It's had a harsh life. It's a bit different to the Porsches that I'm normally used to. Bit of a difficult car to drive. We've been having a bit of fun with the cooling this morning. We've made some shims, try to cool it down, sealed it in. We're going to see if it works. Obviously, the only time I'm going to find out now is in the race. But if not, we'll make a plan. That's how we do it.
Alex Gillespie will lead the field off the start with his new Tasman T19. Jeff Gable was meant to start alongside him, but after damage sustained in the second Lotus race, he is now sharing with Johan Nel and starting from 6th on the grid. Ruan Turon starts from 12th. Whistles blow and racing begins as the cars power their way over the start. Gillespie and the Tasman easily in the lead. Mark Futcher at the wheel of Tim Clamp's Class X Lotus is in second. Third place is a battle between the green machines of Sean Hewitt and Chris Woolley. Hewitt edging ahead and Johan Nel coming under pressure from Jonathan Clamp round the outside. Towards turn 2, mirror to mirror they race. Ahead, Woolley comes back at Hewitt and moves into third. Into turn 3, Hewitt and Woolley side by side. Nel and Clamp also jostling for position. Clamp coming out the victor. On towards the boot, and there's no respite for Nel as Andre Darfel slides up the right-hand side. Side by side through the boot, Nel having to work hard round the outside to protect his position. Dave Vervoort leads Ben Knight through the boot, and the saloon cars begin to come through. Ubi van Moltke leading Ruan Turon. Dirk Venter leads the other Lindenberg racing car of Paige Lindenberg. One of the Lotuses going wide through Castle Corner. Coming through turn 6 and onto the Uncinis, the Lindenberg Racing Escorts pass a slowing Rob Mordaunt in his yellow Lotus. Jan Jacobs in his red and white Alfa Romeo follows them through. Onto the back straight, and Ruan Turon is closing in on Ubi van Moltke, and Paige Lindenberg has moved alongside Dirk Venter. Side by side they race down the straight, Lindenberg inching ahead of Venter as they approach turn 9. Johan Nel, keeping it steady, follows Jonathan Clamp through the Uncinis and onto the back straight, biding his time before he makes his move. He moves across and pulls alongside Clamp. The pair runs side by side down the back straight. Nel taking the position into turn 9. Rob Mordaunt is in the pits with some problems.
There's no excitement there. I got out there right from the start. I've had hassles with the car all day. It just started getting warm. I came and I thought, let's cool it down. Let's get some cold water in there and go out again. And of course, I got the bonnet off, got the radiator cap off, and getting too warm for me to hang on to. So I stepped one big step back, and there it was.
Back on the track, and Jan Jacobs is making a move on Paige Lindenberg as they race through Nchini 2. Hubi van Moltke, not far behind, also passes the Escort and slipstreams the Alpha down the back straight. Problems with Lindenberg's Escort as she brings it into the pits.
I've had a rough day. My fuel pressure keeps dropping, and we've tried fuel pumps and electrics, and nothing seems to be coming right. It started off well, and then the fuel pressure just started to drop, and I don't want to take chances with the engine. I'm not running for championship, so it's not worth, it's not worth the risk of destroying the engine. So I packed up.
Not quite packing, but more backing up. Jonathan Clamp, taking a slight excursion off the track, manages to get it going again and rejoins the race. Dirk Venter leads Jose Vasquez. Mark Futcher is coming through at a rapid pace to lap the pair as they go through the Unchinis. The Class X Lotus is going well for Futcher, who is more used to his Class C machine. Sean Hewitt chasing after Chris Woolley as the pair come up to lap the Mercedes of Jose Vasquez and the Escort of Dirk Venter. Coming into the boot, they pass the pair and their race continues. Johan now on the 79 machine is also looking for a way past the pair. Through Castle Corner, he follows them and heading to turn 6, he is able to make his move and go a lap ahead as he chases after Hewitt and Woolley. Into Heelskolp, and Hewitt is challenging Woolley down the inside, but he can't make it work. The Mercedes of Ubi van Moltke doing his best to steer clear of the dueling duo. Powering their way to the final turn, and Woolley leads it hard chasing Hewitt. Johan now rapidly approaching Ubi van Moltke, and he makes his way past the Mercedes as they head onto the main straight. Ruan Taron is in with his MG.
We've got an overheating issue. I thought it was originally the pressure cap that wasn't retaining enough pressure. But we're constantly having the same issue now. We're having it lap for lap for lap, that we're having a variation in temperature from back straight and around corners, she's spiking. So we're not sure at the moment if we should carry on, let it cool down, do the last 20 minutes, or can it?
Andre Darthel bringing his Lotus in as well.
Just overheating, not of the car, but of my feet. It feels as if there's radiator water falling onto your feet. I've never ridden in such hot conditions and that, and really your feet just burn up completely. So now it's time for home time.
Into the pits for his mandatory 2-minute pit stop comes the Lotus of Dave Vervoort. The timer is set and the countdown begins, and it's not long before he is accelerating back onto the track. Ben Knights brings his machine into the pits for his pit stop. It looks like the Mercedes of Jose Vasquez is already in and getting his windscreen cleaned. Knights puts his car into neutral and sits the 2 minutes out before he can put the car into gear and get back into the race. On the track, Johan Nel is closing up on the back of Sean Hewitt as they make their way through Nchini 2 and onto the back straight. He pulls out alongside Hewitt, gets the power down and makes the pass just before they turn into turn 9. Hewitt won't have given up, and he will be pushing hard, looking for a way back past the 79 machine. Through turn 9 and onto Heelskolp, and Nel still holds the advantage. Hewitt looks down the inside, has a look, Nel runs wide, but Hewitt can't make it work just yet. Through the final bend and onto the main straight, Nel stays ahead. Into the boot, and Woolley still out ahead of the duo, Nel managing to keep Hewitt at bay. Heading up to Castle Corner, and Hewitt has a look around the outside, but Nel defends and moves to the right. This plays into Hewitt's hands as he stays left, takes the inside line and moves ahead of Nel. Down the back straight, and Chris Woolley is followed by the Mercedes of Jose Vasquez. Johan Nel has pulled out alongside Sean Hewitt and moves ahead of him as they come into turn 9. Past Vasquez, the pair go through the series of right-handers. Hewitt trying to get back onto terms with Nel. Through turn 1, down the inside, and Hewitt retakes the position. Nell pushing hard as he chases Hewitt onto the back straight, moves alongside him and edges ahead as they race to turn 9. Great racing between the pair. Into the pits comes Jonathan Clamp for his pit stop and driver change. Willy Lochmann getting in.
It was absolutely awesome. I had a bit of a spin around the back there, so I lost the main group, but otherwise, yeah, great fun. That's Willy Lochmann. Car's performing excellently. It's starting to get a little bit slippy out there in the heat, but no, otherwise going great.
Dirk Venter powers out of the pits, his mandatory stop complete. Ben Knight's passing Jan Jacobs through and Chini 2 and onto the back straight. A wave of his hand to say thanks, and the pair make their way down the back straight onto turn 9. The Alfa on the inside conceding and letting the Lotus go past. Into the pits comes Johan Nel.
It was very good, went out for 40 minutes or so. Jeff had some issues with his car in the sprint race, so he decided to share with me. I had a good battle with Sean Hewitt. It was probably a second or two ahead of him just before the stop. See, after the stop, he's about 5 seconds ahead of Jeff, so let's hope Jeff can make it up and beat Sean to the line.
Mark Futcher making his way past Dave Vervoort as the pair come into the boot. Futcher having a great run, currently lying in second place behind the Tasman T19, which has just come into the pits for its stop. Sean Hewitt is also in for his stop, while Huby van Moltke making his way back onto the track, stop complete.
Well, he's just about 40 minutes in. He's holding the pace. We asked him to hold at just under 150, 148, 149. He's doing well. The oil pressure's holding well. The temperature's good. It's quite a hot day today, and he's doing well. So if he just holds the pace and keeps his head, I'm quite happy with him, and I think he'll keep the motor together.
Sean Hewitt revs up and is preparing to head back onto the track. Still in the pits is the second place car, Mark Futcher and Tim Clamp.
Fantastic. It's very warm, obviously windy, but the car is just so brilliant to drive. You actually just get into such a rhythm. This is fantastic. It's like a dream. You just stay out there forever. It's really having fun. An awesome machine. Having a really, really good time out there. Apparently we're lying second, so that's great. Yeah, awesome. And a nice lead, it seems, on the guys behind us, because I didn't see anyone coming anywhere near us. So yeah, let's hope Tim can keep it together, and we'll see what happens in the end.
Coming into the boot, and Jeff Gable is bearing down on Chris Woolley. He has the inside line, makes the pass, and moves up a position. Gable will be keen to edge out a bit of a gap over Woolley. Coming into turn 9, and Tim Clamp is coming under pressure from Sean Hewitt, who is desperately looking for a way past, even resorting to some more off-roading as they come into the right-hander. That won't have done him any favors, as he will have to make up the ground he lost. It doesn't seem to have slowed him down at all. He moves to the right and passes Clamp down the inside and leads him through Gielskop. Jeff Gable seems to have got to grips with Johan Nell's machine and is running alongside Tim Clamp as they head towards Uncini 1. Clamp takes a wide line into the corner. Gable sees his chance, takes a tighter line and moves ahead as they continue on to Uncini 2. Gable leads Clamp onto the back straight. Clamp pulls out alongside him and the pair run side by side down the straight, both as determined as the other to come out ahead. Into turn 9, and it's Gable who leads the way. Jan Jacobs in his Alfa leads the Mercedes of Huby van Moltke through the right-hander onto Gielskop. This pair are having a great battle and have been within striking distance of each other for most of the race. Behind them, it looks like Ruan Taron has managed to get the MG going and is out to do a few more laps. Ben Knight, making his way down to the boot, will have noticed the Tasman T19 coming up on his right-hand side and left him ample room to sail past. Alex Gillespie, having a dream first outing for the car, has led from the start and seems to be having a faultless run. Jan Jacobs and Huby van Moltke run down the back straight side by side, Van Moltke managing to get ahead of Jacobs as they come into turn 9. Possible problems there for Jacobs as Willy Lochmann goes past as well. Exiting Gielskop, and Jacobs is coming into the pits to retire his Alfa. Alex Gillespie in the Tasman T19 makes his way through Gielskop for the last time in this 1-hour endurance race. He will make his way through the final corner behind Taron and Venter and take victory in the Liqui Moly endurance race. The checkered flag is waved and the Tasman T19 takes its debut win. A lock up there for Ben Knight, who leads second place man Sean Hewitt through Gielskop and onto the final corner. Hewitt takes the inside line into the final corner and passes Knight to lead the Lotus cars over the line. Hewitt should be ecstatic with his performance today. The Nell Gable Lotus will cross the line in third place overall and second Lotus. Confirmation of the results, and it was Alex Gillespie with a comfortable victory. Sean Hewitt 7 seconds ahead of the Nell Gable car. 5 seconds further back was Chris Woolley, followed by the Futcher Clamp car. A great endurance race from all those who took part. Congrats from Dad Peter as Alex comes into the pits.
Ecstatic for many reasons. It's my first long race and managed to keep it together at a reasonable pace the whole time. Not too fast, but not too slow. And also all our work didn't let loose, nothing let go, which is, I'm almost as happy about that as I am about winning. It's actually flipping fantastic.
Difficult race. A little bit difficult trying to pass Mark in the early part of the race. Tim's car, but yeah, he's really quick. So it took a little bit of pushing towards the end there to hold it, get past. It's got a little bit hot at times. Not too bad at much, but like I say, it came down really quickly once I got a bit of fresh air, and so we're looking good.
Very pleasant in the sense that Johan kindly lent me a co-drive in his car after I broke my car in the sprint race. That shows an awful lot of the camaraderie we have in the Lotus Challenge. He may regret it a little bit. I didn't hand him back a broken car, but he handed me at the halfway point a car that was leading the class, and at the end of the race I handed him back a car that was second in class.
Well, in Jeff's defense, he was sitting on a pillow because my feet's quite a bit further away from me than him. So he was a bit awkward in the car, which cost him about the first 2-3 laps to get used to it. And then the second half of the stint, he managed to catch Sean quite quickly. I think he was 2 seconds behind at one stage, but at the end, just the laps ran out.
It was a lovely battle we had. Fortunately for me, his Alpha was a little bit problematic today, so he had to change carbs and it was overheating, which gave me a chance to drive with him. And at the end, I smelled blood. I saw spots of water on my windscreen, so I know if I really push hard, maybe he'll expire. And unfortunately for him, 1 lap from the end he did. Otherwise, he would have had the win.
At the end, the top radiator was burst, so I think I was leading at that point in time, but these things do happen, and yeah, I'll live to fight another day.
History in Motion is proudly brought to you by Midas Sport, Gumtree, Mitsubishi Electric and their associated sponsors. Join us at Red Star Raceway for the final round of the Midas Historic Tour on Saturday, the 28th of November. Don't miss it.